What's up, guys? Welcome to the PPG case tournament all the way in Miami, Florida. And we have competitors Eric Christensen playing Masked Saiyan. Once again, very well known for this deck, has been having a great success with it. And very powerful deck. It's a very, I want to say, counter pick to the meta. And then on the other side of him, we got Vincent Urso playing Cell. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Eric does not have access to full bloodlust, so this cell is going to be very, very damaging on Eric's day. It's going to be putting a damper on whatever plans he has of having a lot of cards, generating a lot. So he's going to have to toss that hand and just play very aggressively against Vince's cell deck, which always represent that threat of perfect for cell and eliminating Eric's resources. And Toa come up from Eric. Toa, very good one drop black card. It actually searches the top 7 of Eric's deck and gets a Asane or Mira and adds it to his hand. So very good at digging for threats, being able to find things that Eric to win the game. A few different that he has to search. Asane is just very good. And the Massane that like helps you awaken, Massane that has removed. He has a few different things, and then this mirror that has critical also takes away from your opponent's hand. Thank you guys again for tuning in. A little bit of a late start. We had some late entries, and were able to successfully go. Had a rough start. Unfortunately, it's one repair. Usually, we really hate doing repairs. Sometimes it just happens. Really hate to give players game losses. Try to do our best to be grateful that they were in the tournament, and we rounded out to just about 40 players. Pretty decent. We're expecting around the 50 mark. This is pre-errata, so using the Mecha Frieza that has no errata. The errata that saw Bandai actually come out with is not going to take into effect until May 1st. So I have a lot of players still playing these decks like Mass Saiyan, which are heavily countered against Mecha Frieza instead of just a lot of other leaders. We're really excited to see, honestly, seeing a lot. That man right there, Vincent's playing Cell, seeing a whole lot of that guy, and we're seeing a lot of other cool in you. Really take advantage of the Gash and powerful card. So a Mass Saiyan here, and it's gonna eat a negate and a Dr. Gero. Haru coming in. Haru just really good, even against. It's funny because Haru is normally just good against Mecha Frieza because it is a yellow leader, but Haru actually gets that ability of untapping that energy even if your opponent's leader is green. So it's green or yellow. So he's going to be able to get in there and actually utilize the Haru. Again, I think the only matchup that Haru is just really bad against is just the Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku because it is a blue leader. And I believe that's the only leader right now in terms of competitive triangle that really is not Mecha. So you have Mecha, you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and you have Mass Saiyan at this point. And these are the 3 decks that you have to expect to play against at a competitive level, at the highest level, so that you can actually go deep into whatever tournament. Yeah, guys, keep letting us know if there's anything. off on your side. We're definitely going to try to do the best we can to adjust throughout the stream. We have our superstar in the building, Lester, here with us this time. So it will be a much smoother ride than the last time for sure. And it's going to be exciting. We can't wait to see who takes this tournament. We have a lot of big players in competition today. We have Justin Rios, Pro Tour competitor, multiple top 8, top 16 finishes in Dragon Ball Super Regionals. He's only been to like 2 or 3, and I think he's topped 100%. We have Peter Katani, the man, the myth, the legend, the masked Saiyan. Not sure what he's on today. He's going with the traditional pretend I'm not here till the finals. So we're going to see him hopefully there once again for the 3rd time in a row at one of these premier PPG events. We have Alejandro Mena and a few other PPG locals that are actually making the trip to San Jose this weekend, and they really want to test and get that playtesting in against the best. Can't blame them. We have some players from Port St. Lucie also. Shout out to them. They came down from Port St. Lucie and Orlando to come out and play against the best and get that playtesting in for that big event next weekend, all the way in San Jose. It's going to be fun. San Jose, California, of course, as you guys know. The next Dragon Ball Super Regional, the final Dragon Ball Super Regional under ARG's trial period. And it's going to be an exciting one. Unfortunately, Mecha still will be around, so we already know what to expect. But for those playing Mecha Frieza, it's not an easy ride for them. You're going to have a lot of decks that are just going to be out there 100% decked out to beat Mecha Frieza. So it's going to be a hard time for them. It's going to be a hard tournament for Mecha Frieza, but it is going to be the most powerful deck and the deck that has the most options. So no doubt you'll see all the top players, for the most part, piloting some iteration, some version, some teched out Mecha Frieza deck, and you really don't know what to expect. There's so many different tools that they've been utilizing from these past almost a month since Crossworlds has been out. And you're going to see how all these decks kind of evolve to beat the meta. And it's really interesting to see. And shout out to the UK. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I don't know what time it is over there. It's probably late, but 5. Okay, that's fantastic. You guys are going to be here for a little bit. You're probably going to have to see the finals on VOD. We'll put them on YouTube as well. So if you guys want to catch that and you're not going to be able to catch parts of this tournament, no worries. We will have it on VOD for free on our Twitch channel, as well as we will be cutting it, trimming it, editing it, and putting it on YouTube for you all so that you can play it back as many times as you like at your convenience. So Eric here with a very interesting card, actually, the Supreme Kai of Time Continuity Keeper. This card is extremely good because it does give you access to any black card in Eric's deck. So it pretty much reads on the auto summon, you get to take a black card and put it into your warp. And then the next turn, you'll actually put that card from your warp into your hand if the Continuity Keeper stays alive. So that's the only downside to that. You see Vincent down here with one of the best green super combos printed thus far. The Stout-Hearted Android 16. He's going to use it to take a card from Eric. It's going to keep Eric from comboing, additionally, what he wants to combo with. And it's just going to leave him with one mere card in hand. But Eric here smelling blood and trying to strike while Vincent's at 1. All right, another super combo from Vincent here. Taking the last card from Eric's hand. And Eric unable to kill Vincent, but Eric's at 5. Vincent here, he's going to see what exactly he can do. It looks like he has a pretty decent hand size here. 5 or 6 cards from what I can see. And only at 1 life, he's going to have to play this turn very, very carefully. Wow, that's great. I really love to see large tournaments outside of Bandai being planned, because even though this is not a Bandai event, we do like hosting tournaments that sometimes Bandai doesn't feed us, because it just helps the community stay active, stay interested, and come out and keep playing the game, and that's how you get better. So that's how you promote better players, and we really can't wait to see what comes out of the international waters. We want to see more competitive players. We want to see another PPG-esque team emerge, and we want some competition. We want some very big names to develop in the game, and it's going to be an exciting time, especially when we get to the national championship, which Bandai just announced not too long ago. That's going to be very exciting. It's going to be held sometime towards the end of the year, and first national type event from Bandai. The news was very, very big and very, very exciting, and we really can't wait to see what the prizes are going to be, what the details are going to be, but we can only assume if you do well at a regional, you'll be qualified and invited to that event. We see Vincent here take his turn to just clear Eric's board, because Eric's board was applying a lot of pressure. When Vincent's at 1, you want to just make sure Eric has as little options as possible at coming back. And now Eric's here stuck top decking, still at 5 life, unawakened. Vincent took a very good approach to his turn. He didn't allow Eric to get to 4. He didn't allow Eric to awaken. He just dealt with the pressure. And now Eric had a relentless mirror off the top, and Vincent's going to have to fend off as much as he can. Vincent survives another turn at 1 life. It's really deadly, but now Vincent's got to figure, like, he can't be attacking now. Thankfully, his leaders sell, so he actually doesn't have to attack to net that extra card every turn. He could just charge any card from his hand, put it under sell, and just draw 2 cards. So it's going to be really good at cycling through whatever's dead. Maybe if he plays some TNs or like some 7-drop cells that are dead, he could just put them under the cell and start cycling through his deck and seeing what he needs. I don't know how he's going to survive once Eric is going to be awakened. Eric, it's only a matter of time until Eric gets awakened. Like, it's going to happen. Sometimes this is the hardest part for a Dragon Ball Super player. When do you awaken your opponent? When is the best time to put them at that life that they're going to be drawing extra cards, but you're actually pushing for your game? Because, sure, we would love to win the game with our opponents not awakening, but that's never going to happen. And you're going to see a Kaba off the top of Eric's deck. That's exactly what he needed. He's going to go to 4. He's going to get a card. He's going to flip. He's going to draw 2 cards, and then he's going to attack and draw another card. So this is a huge swing. That's about a 4-card swing here, guys. And you're probably going to see game here from Eric. Now, a really cool thing Eric could do right now, he can use Mass Saiyan's ability, send 3 from the top of his deck. He's going to count his deck first, because this is a very important resource in this game, especially in Mass Saiyan. If you lose your deck, you lose your game. So he's got to make sure to count, see how many cards he has left, because ideally what he wants to do is send the top 3 cards from his deck to the yard, but he's not going to do so. He's going to choose to flip first. He's going to choose to flip first, and then use the ability just once. He could have, if he had enough cards in deck or felt like he was comfortable enough, he could have sent 3 from the top on one side and then sent another 3 from the top on the flip side and get a total of plus 10k power boost instead of just a plus 5k power boost. And then he's going to play a Champa, get another Champa. So that hits. I don't know if thinning his deck is exactly what he wants to do here, but maybe he just wants to see a double strike Champa. Yes, Joe Focus. Yes, he is playing the Self-Awakening Mass Saiyan promo. I think that is a mandatory addition into the deck. I would play 4 copies. I think he plays anywhere from 3 to 4 copies, but very good card. Not only does it get hit by the Toa, but it's also just a very good card because it applies pressure, and it's the only other card next to Kaba that you can use to Self-Awaken, so. Alright, Vincent has some defense here, and all he has to do is live. I don't know how many cards are left in Eric's deck, but you cannot imagine too many if he didn't choose to use Mass Saiyan's ability on the flip side. So I want to assume maybe like 4 or 5 cards in hand. And yeah, Eric's going for it. He saw an opening, and he had double strike Champa, and there's only a super combo on Vincent's side of the board. So that's going to give it to Eric. Eric wins after being stalemated at 5 life, and Vincent unable to stabilize at 1 life. Yeah, that Mass Saiyan off the top was just very, 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 very powerful, and that's exactly what he needed. He needed any combination of either that card or a Mass Saiyan, an increasing evil Mass Saiyan. So there was a, it's just he had it. He got the Kaba, and then at that point, The first attack that goes through, that Vincent allows to go through, he's just gonna immediately shotgun. Like there's no reason why Vincent, Eric actually shouldn't shotgun in an opportunity that it gets an opening, because at that point you're just allowing your opponent more turns to live. If you have lethal on attack and you see an opening, Granted, there is exceptions. Obviously, if you play against a yellow leader, you always have to be aware of the Shigesh explosive Goku combo, because that is something that's a huge factor in the deck, and it's very accessible for that deck because all they need is Planet Vegeta, and that Planet Vegeta searches one of the two pieces needed to successfully go through that combo. So, very powerful, and because your opponent's not playing yellow leader, you are shotgunning 100%. Otherwise, you got to do a few calculations. How many cards do they have left in their deck? How many Shigeshes did they go through? How many explosive Son Gokus did they go through? You know, there's a lot of things. How many cards in hand? What are the possibilities? What are the probabilities of your opponent having these combos in their hand? So there's a few different things that you need to consider when playing against a yellow leader, and that's what makes Mega Frieza just so far ahead of the field, because of all these powerful tools that they have at their disposal. So let us know also in the chat if you guys want to see anything throughout the rest of the day. You did ask for a PPG competitor, so we put him on there. Eric Christensen, actually a second place world champion, second place world's competitor, I'm sorry, first place national champion, and also a YCS champion. So YCS is for you that don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! YCSs are, I guess, most comparable to a regional, but a regional of about like 800 to 1,500 players. So, very, very decorated, competitive card game player in Eric, and super proud to have him on the team. He's been very, very focused on Dragon Ball Super, which is great because this is a very, very good game, and we've had a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players actually transfer over to Dragon Ball Super. Still play Yu-Gi-Oh from time to time, but very, very attracted by Dragon Ball Super and the mechanics and how different of a game it is, because it is very resource based. Dr. Mew might be winning the case. Who knows? We'll see if Peter's actually playing Dr. Mew. Not actually sure what he's going to be playing, but I mean, I wouldn't write that off. I wouldn't write that as a possibility because like he loves Dr. Mew. He really, I saw him the other day at our Thursday night locals here, and he was still playing Dr. Mew. So I mean, it could be a very, very large possibility for him to be playing that. But we'll see today. We have Eric here going in with a Mira. Mira very good at this point of the game, just taking cards away from your opponent. That critical ability, that 20k body, it's all part of the reasons why Mira has actually skyrocketed to a price of about $10. And it's crazy. That card also another very powerful and very exclusive card from the expansion deck boxes that are currently out of print. So another mirror here for Eric. So Eric's going to have another play next turn. And he's just going to pass the turn. That mirror is going to go to the warp. And Vincent's going to think about what exactly he has to do, because Vincent's at 5, which is a very deadly number in Vincent's deck, because not only is his TN putting him in range of death, but Eric can easily just come in with that mirror next turn and just double strike it, and then Vincent's at a terrible position. The same position that he would be in with the TN, but at least with the TN he'll like salvage a card. So it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. But that's pretty much Eric's game plan at this point. Vincent, on the other hand, he's just going to play an Android 20 and get another Android, the Android 18 this time. And you can only imagine Vincent has cell combo. You can see a 17 in his hand and an 18 in his hand. I don't know if I see a cell. But if he does have the cell, he has assembled the cell chain with all 3 cards in hand. Yep, I think I see that cell chain exactly in Vincent's hand. So it's going to be a tough time for Eric, but Eric loves playing his whole hand. You saw the last game, he had 0 cards in hand and went down to 5 life. So we're going to see what happens here. Saiyan is not a deck that plays with a very big hand size, but Vincent should be very aggressive here because you want Eric to get as many cards in hand. So I would have honestly attacked with that Android 20, as crazy as it sounds. Yeah, so most comparable to Exodia. Does not win you the game, but gets pretty damn close to it. So Vincent getting down to that 3 life, which is not where you want to be, but Eric's got a Trunks, time overseeing, I believe. Not sure. But that Trunks is very good. It lets you warp your entire drop area, minimum of 4, of course, for the requirement, to actually be able to get any card from your warp and add it to your hand. So technically, any card that is within any card that is within your drop area or your warp before or after you play the Trunks is accessible to you. So that's what's very powerful about that card. And you've seen a spike since the release. I think the release has started like $3, and now they're all the way up to like $13. This is the next Kale. So I would suggest picking this card up. I do not regret that statement. I think that is a very powerful card, and having access to more than 4 super combos with this card, or being able to loop it so that you have a play every turn, is just something very, very powerful, and something that you should not disrespect. It's something that must be respected, and you should have your copies, guys. I don't know how many times we got to say it, but always have your playsets of things. I mean, you see it with Kaba. The Kaba went from like $12 to like, I think last night they were like $40, and now they're like settling at like 25, $30. And these are cards that you can easily just have by just buying boxes. You know, you buy like 2-3 boxes, you get like 4 or 5 dash packs, and you're normally guaranteed a playset of whatever. And it's just like these cards that really shouldn't be this high, but sometimes when you got new players entering the game every day and every day and every day, like we've just had a few notable players just transfer into the game, and then you just see the supply get lower and lower and lower, and there's not infinite supply ever. So you got to understand these cards are going to go up in price. It's only a matter of time. And speaking of the Trunks here, I'm just going to call him Trunks for now, I guess, because I don't know the last two. But very good. Vincent's playing it too. He knows what's up. He was able to get back a key piece, whether it be a combo piece or a card that he just needs to, I don't know, super combo. Like, you can get anything, honestly. A negate, a super combo, a combo piece, whatever you need. But very powerful too, because it does have double strike. So it's just gonna be a double strike body, you know. It doesn't need to be overwhelmed for the double strike, which is why it's a little bit better in Eric's deck. You can dark plot it out, just double strike or 20k for 1 energy technically, because the dark plot. Oh, yeah, you're gonna see the play right here probably. Unless he has a Haru. Nope. Yep. Just like I was saying, Dark Plot into the Trunks. You got a 1 energy double striker, a 20k body. Very good. Almost as good as Mira, which is free. But this one doesn't take away your Overwhelm. So he still has an Overwhelm drop for the turn. And you're going to see a Kaba, and you're going to see a flip. And Eric is in the money right now. But only problem is, has a pretty big hand. So Vincent, all he's got to do, survive, play the cell chain, and Eric might be down to another terrible position, but we'll see how this plays out. We'll see if Eric actually is playing around the cell chain and maybe commits a little bit more to combos. I would commit as much as possible to the Trunks right now because you would just want to play around that. But Eric's going to go here, try to get a crit hit in, which I believe he got. I think he hit a black card. Yeah, I think I see that black card there. So he's going to super combo all the way up to 25. Great number to be at. And Vincent is going to see what he does about this, because the only problem with this green super combo is you don't want to preemptively use it as a defense, because then you're just taking away the job of Cell. You're taking away the job of being able to discard your opponent down to 3. And honestly, the super combo is what you want to have after a Cell follow-up. That's what you want to do. And Eric playing this very well. I think he's playing another super combo here on that Trunks, so really wants to just kill Vincent. I think Vincent's at 2 at this point, so that's lethal, and Eric's going to dump. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Vincent has... I don't think he can survive here. Nope. Eric was smart. He didn't allow Vincent to live for the cell chain. That cell chain was going to come up, and that is the concession, and Vincent got it. So... all right, guys, we're going to be right back. We haven't even gotten prepped on our side too much, so we're going to go actually try to get Eric in here. So give us about like a couple minutes. We're going to get him in here, have a little player interview since that was a fast match. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Philippe Roger here, co-owner of Pro Play Games. Here at PPG, we're constantly doing stuff to try to bring you more content and bring you more DBS deck techs and more coverage for you. And we're happy to announce our affiliation with DBSDecks.com. DBS Decks, the guys over there, Mark specifically, are working very hard to compile a list of all the top decks from all of the events across the nation. And there, you can see even cards played on a percentage base within the archetype. So it's a great website. We encourage you to go and use that. So go ahead and check it out, dbs-decks.com, and check out Pro Play Games for all your DBS needs. Stay pro.
And then I'll get 'em.